representation of, so representation of vector. Vectors can be represented by either by polar form, Cartesian form. Have you heard the name Cartesian coordinates? Cartesian coordinates.
No, sir.
In 10th class, we have coordinate geometry. So there are the Cartesian coordinate system, x-axis. These are the form. And when you represent the position in the form of axis, that system is known as the Cartesian system in the form of ik, ij, and k. Okay, no problem. I will discuss. So first, I will discuss this Cartesian form. Cartesian form. Suppose you have a in the Cartesian form, you represent the vector along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Component of that vector, or component means some part of the vector will be along x-axis, some part of the vector will be along y-axis, some part of the vector will be along z-axis. Suppose you have a vector A, and the value of vector A is given a1 I cap plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap. So this is the representation of a vector in Cartesian form. Cartesian form means, just see, what is the value of a1? A1, what is the meaning of a1 I cap? Means this a1 is the component of this vector, or the part of this vector will be along x-axis. So a1, you can say component will be the accurate word, component of a vector along positive x-axis. A2, so you can say A2 j cap. Here A2 j cap is there, so j cap represents the positive y-axis. So A2 is the component of A2 is the component of a vector along positive y-axis. Similarly, you can write A3, component of a vector along positive z-axis. Suppose I have written a vector like this: -5 I cap minus 3 j cap plus k cap. So if suppose I am asking what is the component of vector A, what is the component of vector A along negative x-axis? So what you will say? Component of this vector A along negative x-axis. What will be the value?
So -5.
Yeah, right. -5. So the vector, when represented in the form of ijk, that form of the vector is represented as the Cartesian form. Okay. Now suppose you want to find the magnitude of this vector A. Magnitude of A. So I have told you in the last class how we represent the magnitude of A. So we represent the magnitude of A like this, and the magnitude of A will be, you will do square of this coefficient of I cap. Coefficient of I cap is A1. Square of this you will do square of coefficient of j cap and k cap also. A2 square plus A3 square. So suppose I am giving v vector as 5 I cap minus 3 j cap. So if I want to find the magnitude of v vector, what I will do? This 5 square plus 3 square minus 3 square. In this case, uh, the component of the v vector along z axis is 0. Okay, along z axis is 0. You can write here 0 into j cap. Okay. So anything multiplied with 0 will become 0. Okay, so 0 square. So you can write this 5 5s are 25 and 3 3s are 9. This will become 34. 34 units. Units I am taking because I don't know what is b. B can be the velocity vector, b can be the force vector, b can be the displacement vector, any vector. Okay. So taking one question, a vector is given as p vector, suppose 5 of I cap plus minus 2 j cap minus twice of j cap plus k cap. This is the vector given. And what is this form? This is Cartesian form. Whenever the vector is represented in the form of ijk, that form is the Cartesian form. So no problem. This is the vector p is given. We have to find unit vector of p, unit vector of p and magnitude of p. This we have to find. So in the simply we can find, first we will find the magnitude of p. Okay. So magnitude of p, how you will find? Take square of component in the of I cap, means coefficient of I cap, square of coefficient of j cap, square of coefficient of k cap. So coefficient of I cap means 5 square, coefficient of j cap means minus 2 square, coefficient of k cap, here k is with 1 only. Okay, so here you will write 1 square. So this will become 5 5s are 25 plus 4 plus 1. This will become root 30 units. And what I have told you, and the unit vector is represented in this form, p cap. And what is the formula for calculating the unit vector of any vector? The vector and the divided by the magnitude of that vector. So write the vector p, 5y minus 2j plus k. 5y minus 2j plus k cap divided by under root 30. So if you will solve it further, you will get 5 by root 30 of I cap minus 2 by root 30 of j cap plus 1 by root 30 of k cap. Okay, you will divide this 5y minus 2j plus k cap with root 30. Okay, so each term will be divided by the root 30. Okay, now like numbers, we have numbers now 1 2 3, we can add the numbers like 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, but in case of vector the addition is something different. We cannot add the vectors like the numbers. Okay, there are certain rules and regulations for the addition of the vectors. Okay, so addition and subtraction of vectors in Cartesian form of vector. In the Cartesian, when the vectors are given in the Cartesian form, it is very easy to find the addition of the vector or the subtraction of the vector. Okay. So suppose your A vector is given. A1 I cap, A2 j cap, A3 k cap. Suppose your V vector is this. V1 I cap, V2 j cap, V3 k cap. Suppose you want to find the addition of A vector and B vector. So you will write A vector plus V vector. In the addition, what you will do? You will add this A1 with V1 means, okay, and you will add this A2 with B2 and you will add this A3 with B3. You cannot not add like this A1 with V2. So you will do this like A1 plus V1 of I cap plus A2 plus V2 of J cap plus A3 plus V3 of K cap. Now, suppose you want to find A minus B, A vector minus B vector. So, in this case, you will write A1 minus B1 into I cap. A1 minus B1 I cap plus A2 minus B2 of J cap plus A3 minus B3 of K cap. So, in this way, you can find the addition and the subtraction. Addition and subtraction of the vector is very simple for the Cartesian form. So taking one question. Suppose A vector is given I cap plus 2j cap minus of 5k cap, and B vector is given as 2I cap plus 5 of j cap plus k cap. We have to find number one a vector C that is equal to A vector plus B vector, A vector minus B vector. Second thing, we will find a vector D which is simply A vector plus B vector. Third question, we will find a unit vector of C. Okay. And fourth part, we will find a vector P vector which when added to sum of A and B vector, added to sum of A vector and B vector gives a unit vector, gives a unit vector along x-axis. So very easy question. We will solve this question now. This is based on the addition and the subtraction of the vector. So this is A vector and this is B vector. Okay. So first case, we will find a C vector which is equal to A vector minus B vector. Now, a vector C that is equal to A vector minus B vector. So basically what we will do, we will just subtract this A vector with B vector. So how we will subtract? What here is 1, here is 2. So we will write 1 minus 2 and I cap plus 2 minus 5 of j cap plus minus 5 minus 1. Here minus 5, here minus 1 of k cap. So finally you will have minus of I cap and a minus of 3 j cap and minus of 6 k cap. So this will be your C vector. This will be your C vector. Now we will calculate a D vector. Second part of the question. See this part. A plus B we will find. A D vector which is equal to A plus B. D vector which is equal to A vector plus B vector. So we will add. Here is 1, here is coefficient of I, you will see. Here is 1, here is 2. 1 plus 2 means 3 I cap. So 1 plus 2 into I cap plus 2 plus 5 of j cap, and here is minus 5 plus 1. Minus 5 plus 1 of k cap. So here you will get 3 of I cap plus 5 to 7 of j cap and minus 4 of k cap. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. Okay. So you will get the D vector. Now you have to find in the third part unit vector of C vector. Unit vector of C vector. So what you will do? You will write C vector divided by the magnitude of C vector. Okay. So what is C vector? C vector is this. So first write what's the C vector here. This is the C vector. Now what will be the magnitude of the C vector? How we will calculate? The magnitude is calculated like you will take the square of this and add all of these. Means minus 1 square plus minus 3 square plus minus of 6 square. So accordingly you can calculate this will become minus I cap minus 3 of j cap minus 6 of k cap, and divided by, in under root we will have 1 minus 1 square means 1, 3 minus 3 square means 9, 6 square means 36. So this will become 46. So minus of I cap minus 3 of j cap minus 6 of k cap. In under root we will have minus of 46, not minus of 46, means plus of 46. So the unit vector, that is C vector, you will have minus 1 by 40 root 46 of I cap. Now I am doing very simple calculation. Okay. So here is minus 1 and you will divide this. Okay. Here is minus 3 by root 46 of k cap. Here minus 6 by root 46 of this is not k cap, this is j cap. So j cap. So here is k cap. So this is your unit vector of C vector. Suppose if someone is asking unit vector of D vector, same thing you will do. You will write here first D vector, and then you will divide this with the magnitude of D vector. So this will be the unit vector of D vector. Okay, now third part or fourth part. In the fourth part, they are saying a vector P, which when added to the sum of A plus B, gives a unit vector along x-axis. What is the unit vector along x-axis?
Sir, I.
Yeah, I can. Along the x-axis, there are two types of vectors here. Minus I cap can also be there. They are only telling x-axis. Okay. So x-axis means either the vector will be minus I cap or plus I cap. But whenever you will get this type of questions and nothing is mentioned, so you will consider the I cap only. The vector along x-axis you will consider y cap, I cap, sorry. So they are saying when you will add this p with the sum of a plus b, you will get I cap. I want to say there are two types of x-axis you can divide in two ways. Means one is positive x-axis, another is negative x-axis. Along the positive x-axis, you will have a I cap. Along the negative x-axis, you will have a minus I cap. So they are only talking about the x-axis. So by default, you are taking here the I cap. Okay, minus I cap can be also the vector. So got it or not?
Yes, sir.
So they are saying P when added to the sum of A and B vectors, the result is I cap. So we have to find this P vector. So simply we can find this P vector, very easy question. What is the sum of A plus B? A plus B is this D vector, and what is this D vector is this 3 I cap, 7 J cap, 3 I cap, 7 J cap minus 4 K cap. So I will put this value here. And finally, this is I cap. Now what we will do? This is P vector. So this is I cap. This whole term will go this side and becomes negative. 3 I cap plus 7 of J cap minus 4 of P cap. Now this is I cap. Multiply this bracket whole of the things with minus sign. This will become minus 3 I cap minus 7 J cap, and this minus and minus will become plus 4K cap. Now you will add only this I cap. Okay. So this is 1 I cap, this is minus 3 I cap. So minus 2 I cap you will have. Minus 2 I cap minus 7 of J cap plus 4K cap. So this is your final answer. So this is just the addition and the subtraction of the Cartesian form, which is very, very easy. Okay. So please note it down. Then we will discuss the polar form. What is the meaning of the component of any vector? I am explaining this with the help of some example. So suppose you are applying a force on anybody. Suppose you are applying a force on this phone. Suppose in like this you are applying a force, means in this direction. This is the phone, and you are applying the force on this phone in this direction. So what is the meaning of the component of the vector when you are applying the force on this phone in this direction? So the meaning of the component means the effect of this force will be along x-axis also, will be along y-axis also, or will be along z-axis also. This is the meaning of component. Okay, the effect of force. And for the study of the motion, uh, there is a requirement of the axis. Okay, coordinate axis and uh, time. Coordinate axis we choose x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Time for a time we choose a clock, normal clock that we have. Time is running with a constant speed. Okay.
Wrote, sir. Wrote, sir.
This is written as 1 minus 2, 2 minus 5, minus 5, minus 1.
Wrote, sir. Wrote, sir.
So now I will discuss the polar form. Cartesian form is like this, IJK. And now polar form. Polar form means now we will represent the vectors in the polar form. So polar form means you will have the vectors like this. You will have the vectors like this. One vector is this. Suppose another vector is this. This is your one vector. Suppose this vector is a vector, and this is your another v vector. I have told you now how to represent a vector. In this way, also we can represent the vector now. Head and tail means with the help of an arrow. The length of the arrow represent the magnitude of the vector, and this thing represent the direction. And this is the polar form. And in polar form, there is a requirement of angle between the two vectors. Okay, so theta, I am supposing the angle between the two vectors. Angle between two vectors. So there will be some geometrical construction and all that when we will add the vectors, when the vectors are given in the polar form. Okay. So in polar form, how we will add the vectors? See this addition of vectors in polar form. When the vectors are given in the polar form, then we will how we will add addition of vectors in polar form. So there are some geometrical laws or law of additions of vector. So first law is triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. Second law is the parallelogram. Parallelogram, law of vector addition. Third is polygonal law of vector addition. Three laws we will have. You know what is triangle. You know what is parallelogram. Parallelogram is like a rectangle. Okay, it's like a rectangle having one side equal. Okay, parallelogram is like this. Means this side and this side are parallel and equal. This side and this side are parallel and equal. Okay, so rectangle also is a type of parallelogram. So parallelogram, triangle having three sides. Polygon means having more than three sides. Okay, you can say polygon. Poly means many, gon means sides. Polygon, many sides. So there are some geometrical terms here. So first thing I will discuss here is the parallelogram law, and this is most important for the vector addition. Parallelogram law. This I am discussing today. Parallelogram law of vector addition. Now, when we will use the parallelogram law to add the vectors, there are some conditions. There are some conditions. That conditions are the vectors should be co-initial. Co-initial means like this, having the same starting point. Co-initial vectors are the vector having same starting point. Another, with the help of this law, we can only add. What is the parallelogram law of addition? Means we are using this law to add the vectors. So only two vectors at a time we can add with the help of parallelogram. At a time. I am taking two vectors. Okay, and with the help of two vectors, we will see what is the parallelogram law. Suppose this is your what two vectors are given. Suppose this vector is a vector, this vector is a vector, and this vector is the b vector. And suppose theta is the angle between the two vectors. Then if you want to find a vector plus b vector, you want to find a vector plus b vector, then how you will find? And I am already telling you the magnitude of the vector b is b, and the magnitude of the vector a can be written like this also, or you can simply write a. This is given. What is the meaning of the magnitude? Length of this side. Okay, b is the length of this triangle, this arrow, and a is this length. So in this law, what you will do? You will do some geometrical constructions. You will do some geometrical constructions by yourself. So what is the meaning of geometrical constructions here? You will draw a line. You will draw a line from this point, or you can draw a line from this point also. But you have to remember one point. You can choose any of the point. I am choosing this point. Okay. So you will draw a line which will be parallel to this line. So like this. and now you will draw a line from this point which will be parallel to this B vector. Okay, so I am just extending this line. So now you are drawing a line which is parallel to this. This construction you have done. This construction you have. So when you will do this, so this is what is the length of this? Length of this is B. Length of this is B na. This side and this side will become equal. This side and this side will become equal. Means length of this also will become B, and length of this also will become A. So it means that this will become a parallelogram. Become a parallelogram. I have already told you what is parallelogram. So now when you will measure this thing, you will measure this length. This length will give you the resultant vector, R vector. What is R vector? R vector is the summation of A plus B. And this R vector will make an angle of theta. So this, when you will measure the length of this R vector, the length of this R vector will give you the magnitude of A plus B. Length of this R vector will give you the magnitudes of R. Okay. So R, this is your R vector. If you want to find the magnitude of what is the magnitude of A vector plus B vector, so you can write this as this. But this magnitude of R vector, or you can simply write this as R is equal to A plus B. But how we will find this R? We cannot write this. Okay, so we can only write this magnitude of R vector is equal to magnitude of A vector plus B vector. So now we have to find this R vector. What is R vector? R vector is the summation of A vector and B vector. Okay. So I am doing again a geometrical construction in this figure, in this parallelogram. I am extending this side. This side. And I am drawing a perpendicular from this point to this. This is the perpendicular I have. So I have already told you this is the B vector, means this represents the B and this is represent the A. Okay. So you can say this as B vector also. This as A vector also, because direction of both the vector same and magnitude is same. So B vector, both are equal vectors. Okay. So this side also represent the B vector and this side represent the A vector. But no need to write this as a vector. I am just representing it with the help of magnitude only. Now, we will apply the Pythagoras theorem to find this. Okay. Suppose this point is P. This point is, you can suppose this point as O. OP. This point is P. Suppose this is point Q. Suppose this is normal N, and suppose this is S. So this OP is equal to SQ. OP is equal to SQ, and what is the value of this A? This OB is equal to PQ. What is the value? B. O. This OS is equal to PQ. What is the value? Value is B. So now see this triangle, triangle OQR. And what is OQ? OQ is R. Length of OQ is equal to R. So in triangle OQN, in triangle OQN, when you will apply the Pythagoras theorem, do you know what is Pythagoras theorem? Kalil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Pythagoras theorem is the square of hypotenuse is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. So this is 90-degree angle. So opposite. Now we are focusing only on this triangle OQN. Okay. So this is 90-degree angle, and always in a triangle opposite to 90-degree angle there is a hypotenuse. So R is the hypotenuse. So you can write this R square, or you can write this OQ square. OQ square is equal to this side, this is base. Okay. ON square plus QN square. And what is OQ? OQ is R. OQ is R. So R square you can write. What is ON? ON. Now we have to find ON. This whole angle is theta. If this angle is theta, then this side is parallel to this side. So this angle will also be theta. This angle will also be theta. So from the triangle PQN, now see the triangle PQN. Triangle PQN. Can we find cos theta from this triangle? From this triangle, what will be the cos theta? Cos theta will be Pn divided by this PQ. And in this triangle, this will be the hypotenuse. Pn divided by PQ. Pn divided by PQ. Now, Pn will be PQ cos theta. So what is PQ? PQ is B. So you can write Pn is equal to B cos theta. Now what is ON? You can write ON as OP plus PN. OP plus PN, you can write this. And this is QN. This QN we can find with the help of sin theta. Okay. Sin theta will be perpendicular divided by hypotenuse, means QN by QP. QN by QP. Now from here you can find QN, QP or PQ sin theta. What is PQ or QP? PQ is B. So this is B sin theta. Now we have all the values. OP plus PN. What is OP? OP is this A. Okay, OP is this A. PN. PN is B cos theta. In square of this, what is Qn? Qn is b sine theta. And square of this is r square. So from this equation, we can find the r square. Now it is simple. So all these calculation of the triangles I am writing in this side, because these calculations are very easy. From the trigonometry you can do this. So now r square. This is a plus b square. You can assume this as a and this whole term as small b. This is small a. What is a plus b square? A square plus b square plus 2ab. Okay. So is when we will open this square, this will become a square plus square of this term b square cos square theta plus 2ab cos theta, and square of this b sin theta will become b square sin square theta. Now r square is a square plus b square cos square theta, and you can take this b square sin square theta. Okay, and you have this 2ab cos of theta. Now take b square as common from here. When you will take b square common, you will get cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2ab cos theta. Now what is cos square theta plus sin square theta? This is equal to 1. You should know what is cos square theta and sin square theta, sum of cos square theta. So r square will become a square. So this term will become 1. So means this become b square only. So a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Now your resultant is this. Your resultant means r square plus 2. This is your formula for calculating the magnitude of two vectors. Okay. This is your formula. And please remember, this formula is very important. Okay, note it down. Okay, note it down from here. So do you want to ask any doubt, anything in this?
No, sir.
Because this little bit complicated. Why? Why I am saying this complicated? Because here is some geometrical construction, and for the students of 11th class, I can understand the geometrical construction is little bit difficult. But with practice, you can do that, and there is the use of trigonometry also. Just note it down. From
Sir wrote.
make this diagram properly. This is basically a parallelogram. OPQS is a parallelogram. That is why this law is known as the parallelogram law, because we make parallelogram. And make proper arrows also, because arrow represents the direction of the vector.
Wrote, sir.
This also, this diagram completed.
Yes, sir.
This is simple trigonometry, so that is why I have written this inside. And this is not a very complicated calculation, this is simple calculation. And believe me, this formula is very, very important. When we will do some question on this, then you will get it means in a better way. And this formula will also be used in 12th class. When you will be in the 12th class, in 12th class also you will study some vectors, okay, like electric field, magnetic field will be there. So there, when you will find the resultant of the electric field or magnetic field, so this formula will be used. And every time I ask the formula from 12th student, they don't know. They have forgotten the formula.
Completed, sir.
The whole thing completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the formula. So for example, giving one example means, and rest of the things means direction part. I have just calculated only magnitude of the resultant. Okay, not the direction. Okay. So direction, this beta angle, which is this r vector making with a, will represent the direction, and this direction I will calculate in the next class because we do not have time now. And I am giving one example of this, how this formula will be used. Suppose a force vector of 5 Newton is given in this direction, and a force vector of 2 Newton is given in this direction, and theta is 60 degree. So they will say one force is acting in this direction, another force is acting in this direction. What will be the resultant? So you will use directly this formula. You will suppose this as a vector, okay, and this you will suppose this as b. So you will put the value a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, means you will write 5 square plus 2 square plus 2 into 5 into 2 into cos of 60 degree, and the resultant you will get. So this, that is how we will use this formula. I have just given the example. Okay, we will take proper question in the class, next class. Okay, so we will meet in the next class.